This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to the class. Have you all practiced the basic commands? Have you all installed it on your systems? I'm opening the Git folder in the VS Code editor for better editing experience. And let it load completely. Also, let us launch our Git bash. Yesterday terminal doesn't launch for us, right? Now you could see your terminal. You can also open your terminal here, command prompt. It's a PowerShell, or else if you want, you can also switch here. It's a PowerShell by default. You can also have Git bash terminal. Okay, this is the Git bash terminal. Right, you could run the commands from here as well as from the terminal of VS Code editor. Anything is fine. Okay, both are same. You could work with anything. That's fine. So yeah, let us look into the commands and the status of our repository as of now. It was all clean, like on branch master, nothing to commit. Working tree is clean, means whatever changes we have, everything were committed. It is all perfect. So let us look into now deleting the file. Okay, before deleting, let us look into one more thing called diff commands. Okay, let's look into the diff commands. So we have got two files, file 1 and file 2. Okay, yeah. Let me create another file. Okay, I'm going to create one more file called file3.txt. Okay, and then I'm just adding some line, a new text file for demo, something like that, and save it. So what would be the status message now? Can you help me? We have already understood these things very well yesterday. So what would be the status message showing us now?
File 3 is
Untracked file, right? Because it's a new file, so it says like untracked. So if you want to track it, git add. Here you can see in the Visual Studio Code editor, at the back end you can see it as U, means untracked. So add the file, file 3. Git commit -m file 3 added.
Preeti, can we add multiple files at one go?
Yeah, git add dot. If you give dot means all the files, all the unstaged changes will be added.
So how about if I want to add 3 files, I can give a space or something like that?
Yeah,
With
you can
file
put
name?
all the file names with the spaces.
Okay.
So now let's see the status. It is all good. Okay, so file 3 is added. Just added one more file, that's all. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to edit this file, file 3. Okay, now tell me, is this file 3 having staged changes or not? I mean, unstaged changes or not? Is this file 3 having any unstaged change or not?
Yes, unstaged changes.
Unstaged change is there. See, changes not staged. And if you want to see unstaged change, git diff file name will show you the unstaged changes of the file. Right, this line is the one which is unstaged, so that was shown here. Okay, and at the same time the file is also having some changes. Okay, let me add it first. Git add file3. Give me a second, please. Okay, so now I have added this. Now tell me, is this file having staged change or unstaged change now? No unstaged change. So git diff file name is not giving any output because it's having only staged changes. So if you do status, you could see that as well. So changes to be committed means they are in the staging area, right? They are in the staging area and to be committed. So it shows like changes to be committed. So yeah, yes, you can see here like it is having some stage changes, but it is not having any unstaged changes. Okay, fine. Then I'm adding one more change. Just that's all I have added in it. Now tell me, is this file having unstaged change or not?
Yes, it's having unstaged change.
Unstaged change, right?
Yes.
Git diff file name, yes. This third line is unstaged. Is this having staged changes as well? Staged changes of any file can be shown as git diff staged, right? So you can see the second line is staged, third line is unstaged. Means the same file, some changes were staged, some changes were unstaged. Simple logic. The same file is having both staged and unstaged. At this point, if you see the status, see here. Changes to be committed means staged changes. Changes not staged means unstaged. The same file is both shown under staged and unstaged. Right? If the file is shown both under staged and unstaged, it will be shown in like both the regions. So don't get confused. This could be the scenario. This is again another important interview question. Like can a same file be under both staging and unstaged? Yes, because see some changes I just added the changes, but I didn't add to the staging area. So unstaged. Some of the changes I have added to staging area, so they were staged. So this could be the scenario and the simple logic. Understood the scenario, everyone? It's a logical, like some changes were staged and some changes were not. So at this point, it will ask you to add and commit. So you can do git commit -a means add and commit, like some message like text file modifications, whatever, something like that. So now all the changes will be unstaged changes will be staged and everything will be committed. If you see the status, yes, it should be clear. Got the concept and the logic, all of you?
Yes.
So it's about diff commands, git diff file name and git diff staged file name to see the staged or unstaged changes of the file. And then let's talk about deleting the file. Okay. So how do you delete the file? Like let's say I just want to delete this file 3. Till now we have seen creating a file or modifying the file. Let's talk about deleting. So git rm file1 .txt. Okay, that's how you delete any file. Git rm file name, file is deleted. If you see the status, okay, it shows like changes to be committed. Okay, changes to be committed. So how do you commit them? Means any change, whether it is a creating a file or deleting a file, it's a change you need to commit whenever you make a change. So deleted the text file. So commit the change. ls you don't have file1, right? Similarly git ls files, the file is gone both from working directory, sorry, git Okay, the file is deleted both from working directory and staging area. Clear, everyone? Understood?
So
Yes.
can we recover the deleted file from anywhere?
We'll look into that also. That comes under reverting.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's how you delete. There is also another way to delete, like let's say, see, I have file 2 and file 3. Let's suppose for some reasons I just want to delete this file 3 only from the local repository. I want to keep it in my working directory. Maybe assume that, or else suppose that this file 3 is some documentation, some project document. I just want to keep it in the folder, but I don't want to get it tracked by, I don't want to put it in local repository. So how to delete it? Git rm cached file name. This will delete the file only from the working directory. Sorry, only from the local repository, but it will remain in our working directory. Let's say ls. Do you see file 3 is still there? But git ls files. Yes, it's not there in local repository, but still you have a copy here. Okay. So that's another scenario in case if you want to keep it there. And yes, it is to be committed. Like I said, any change to be committed. So deleted from local repository. Okay, perfect. Now you still have it in the working directory. You can still use it, but in the local repository, you don't have the file. Git ls files is not there. Okay. Also, when you see the status, yes, why is it showing this kind of message, untracked file 3? What's wrong? Why are we seeing this message? Anyone?
Because we have not committed the one which we deleted right now.
We committed, right? Just now we have committed. Just now we have committed. Do you see that?
Yeah, okay.
Anyone? Why are we seeing this? See, file 3 is again like a new file, isn't it? Because I deleted it from working, local repository, but it is still there in working directory. Any file, if it is present in this folder, git demo means it will be tracked by git because we initialize git here. It's a git local repository. So any file present in here will be tracked by git. So file 3 is there, but I have removed it from local repository. So it will be keep on tracking it and asking me to add and commit. Correct?
Yes, yes.
So that's the reason it just works like again a new file because I deleted it from staging and local repository. So it just keep on bothering me about adding and commit. I just want to keep this file in the folder, but I don't want to add and commit. Okay, why I don't want to add and commit? Because it's not any project file, it's just a documentation. It could be an email copy, it could be the notes I have taken for the project, or else it could be some log files or some executable files. There might be so many things, so many other files in the repository, in the folder, right? But I don't want Git to track each and everything. But Git will try to track everything because it's a local repository. We have initialized Git. Whichever folder has got this .git. See, .git means yes, it's a local repository. Git will be keep on tracking it. But I don't want Git to track certain files. I want Git to exclude certain files from tracking. Is it possible? Means I want to keep so many other files, but Git should not be tracking them. Yeah, how to do that? That's where comes another concept called, yes, tell me, .git ignore. Create one more file called .git ignore. Whichever files you don't want to track, put the file name and save it. Okay, immediately whenever you saved it, do you see that it became grayed out? There is no more U symbol. Also, if you see the status, Yes, file 3 is not being tracked. It is still there. ls, it's still there. Understood? Means whichever files you don't want Git to track, put them under .git ignore file. .git ignore is another file which is understood by Git, right? Here, let's suppose, like I said, we'll be using this, okay? Here I'm explaining you the concept. We'll see the practical implementation of .get ignore. When we go to our Ansible projects, Terraform projects, there are certain files which you should ignore. Generally in real projects, suppose let's take our Terraform project. We'll be writing Terraform config files. There might be some files which have sensitive data like passwords, credentials. Those should not be version controlled and those should not be shared with others. Such files will be ignored. Okay, we'll see practical implementation of these concepts. We were doing with the sample files now. We'll implement the same for our Terraform files and so on as we progress. Okay, so yeah, there are so many use cases why you have to ignore. Like I told you, sensitive data might be there. Such files should be ignored, or else there might be some log files. There might be some executables which need not be version control. Suppose there are 10 executable files, you want to ignore all of them. Star.exe. All those files will be, any file with the extension .ext will be ignored. Okay,
See,
so
it could be any kind of file, right? Txt, .exe, msi, any file in repository we can put it in the git ignore so that it will not track, right?
yeah. So it is ignoring, and if you look into git status now, it tells you untracked file git ignore, because see, yes, whatever files you don't want to version control, put them in .git ignore. But after all, .git ignore is also a file. So like for any other file, you do add this and commit -m, let's say ignore file created or whatever, right? So now it should be clean. Okay, if you do git status, yes, it's clean. You still have file 3. File 3 is not there in git ls files, but still it's not being tracked by Git. That's how you can ask Git to ignore any files. Generally, we ignore the files which have sensitive data or executables, log files, or some documentations. Okay, so those can be ignored. The real implementation, yes, we are learning it. We'll be using it to version control all our coming up projects, Terraform projects, Ansible projects, Kubernetes projects, and so on. Okay, so that's where you will implement this. Okay, so yeah, by now we have done a lot of commits. If you see the commit history, okay, you could see a bunch of commits in here, right? So many commits you are seeing here. And I just want to undo a particular commit. Like, what is meant by undoing? What is the dictionary meaning of undo? What is the dictionary meaning of undo? What is meant by undo?
The previous one,
Revert to
Other,
the previous action.
suppose you created a file. You undo means file will be deleted. Suppose you deleted some file. You undo means the file will be created back, right? Correct? So this is how it works. You create the file and you delete the file. This is how it works, like undo. Similarly, you can undo a particular commit ID. Okay, if you undo means, suppose in that commit ID I have created a file, means it will be gone. If you deleted a file in that commit, means it will be gone. Let's say a commit ID A. I cannot refer alphanumeric, so I'm representing it with A. Then you undo this. a new commit ID. Whenever you undo, a new commit ID will be generated. Suppose in commit A, file is created. If you undo in this commit B, file will be deleted. You can undo this again. Okay, undo any commit ID. Undo, revert the revert. Okay, A is a commit ID, B is a revert ID or commit ID, whatever you call, because whenever you revert, a new commit ID will be generated. C. Again, the file is created, means you are back to the stage. Back to the previous stage, correct? You can also revert the revert. So without much confusion, revert also works like a commit. It will generate a new commit ID. Okay, let us do the revert. Git revert. Let's suppose I'm reverting this. In this revert, ignore file is created. When I revert, ignore file will be gone. And also when I revert, like I said, every revert also works like a commit. It will generate a new commit ID so that you could revert it also. So it opens an editor where you can go into insert mode, escape I, and put some revert message if you want. Let's say revert ignore file. You could put some message of your choice. Again, escape, colon, WQ, exclamation. Your message is edited. Okay, it shows you it's done. And here, if you notice the log, git log. See, like I told you, new commit ID is generated. And also, if you see the status, see file 3 is being tracked. Why file 3 is being tracked again? ls-a will show all the files including hidden files. .git ignore is no more. Do you see that? Everyone, can you all see that?
Yes.
Right? File 3 is being tracked because .git ignore is no more. Yeah. Suppose I want to revert this revert. Okay, if I want to git ignore back. Any revert ID, any commit ID you can revert with git revert commit ID. See, it says git revert. What did I use? Oh, sorry, I reverted this one. 1 minute. Git revert, git log, one line. Okay, this is the one I want to revert. Now, git revert. Okay. Now it asks for the commit message. Let's say revert ignore file again or something like this. 1 minute. Okay, revert happened. You could see the log, right? Another ID is generated. And see, ignore file is back. File 3 is not being tracked. If you want, you can check the status. Okay, it was all good. And you see hidden file .git ignore is back. Got the concept of reverting? Understood everyone? So it will undo so that a file is deleted. You can get it back by reverting the commit ID. So revert will also generate a new commit ID. You have to remember this. Yes, a new commit ID is generated whenever you revert. If you want to revert that commit ID also, you can do revert the revert or else revert the commit ID, whatever you call it.
I have a question. For example, we have 5 files which we added and committed to our remote repository. Now, from the 5 files, I want one of the files not to be committed and I want to revert only that particular file. Is that possible?
Okay, generally, whatever in the staging area will be committed. Whatever in the staging area, you have working directory, staging area, and local repository, right? So whatever in the staging area will be committed when you revert sorry, when you commit. Okay, because see git commit, that's all, you don't say file name. So whatever in the staging area will be committed whenever you run commit command. But in case if you want to commit only a particular file, git commit that file name and message. This is how you can commit specific files. Okay, that's how you can commit only few files. And one more thing here you have to notice, like we were talking about reverting. Right, you revert means the changes will be undo. Always remember you will revert the commit. Okay, you will not revert the files. I hope that makes sense. It's not that you get the file back, you revert the file. No, you revert the commits. Okay, you commit the changes. Git works with respect to changes. It may be one file or it may be two files, whatever it is. Okay. Right. So yeah, now again, if you see the commit history, we have a good number of commits happened, and this is the log. This is the commit history. Okay, I have some bunch of 10 commits and all. Let's say I then realize I just want only 5 commits. Or else, let's say I realize that their client requirement has completely changed. I just need only these 4 commits. I don't want the rest of the commits. I don't want, in the sense, I want to discard all of them. Discard in the sense, yes, I want them to be get wiped off from the log history. Also, whatever changes happened in those commits should be wiped off. How to do that? Means I just want to discard successive. Successive means latest top commits. Okay, these are the latest commits, successive 5 commits, or successive 6 commits, or 7 commits. How to do that? And that's where reset comes in. Git reset hard. Okay. I just want, let's say, one commit ID to get rid of. Head tilde 1 or head tilde 2 means these 2 commit IDs will be wiped off from the log history. Okay. And also whenever you do reset, because these 2 are gone, this becomes a topmost commit ID. And there is something called pointers in Git. Head is one such pointer in Git. Head will be always pointing to the topmost commit. When you reset these two, head tilde 2 means successive 2 commits will be wiped off. Then this will be the topmost commit. Right? 58 F8 becomes the head pointer. Okay, so changes happen during these commits are gone forever. Let me show you. See, head is now at 58 means your log is there. So these 2 commits were completely wiped off. That is one way to do reset. Another way is git reset hard. Instead of head tilde 2, suppose I just want this to be the topmost commit ID. Okay, you just give that commit ID, whichever you want to have as a head pointer. Okay, then also same, you may give head tilde 2 or else whatever commit ID you have. Right? That's about reset. If you want to undo certain changes, let's suppose git reset hard. I want only these 2 commits. You can see the status, only 2 commits. Sorry, you can see the log, only 2 commits should be there, right? This is what is reset. The reset is a very powerful and it's called destructive command. Why it's destructive? Changes gone are gone forever. You cannot get them back. Can you sense the difference between revert and reset? What is the difference between revert and reset? These concepts should be very clear. You should have good clarity on these concepts. What is the difference between revert and reset?
In revert, at least we can get the files and it is not gone away for like
See,
infinite. Yeah,
every
but
revert
for
is giving you the commit ID. You get a commit ID means you can revert and get it back, right? So you can get the changes back again, possibility of retaining the changes or regaining the changes. But here, because it doesn't generate any ID, changes gone are gone forever. And also you can revert any random commit ID. But here you can reset only successive commit IDs, like successive first 5 or first 6, that's how, or first 4 and so on. So that's why reset command is called as a powerful command and a destructive command. It's not used like completely. It's not used, what you can say, it's not used regularly. Okay, it's not a regular command which you use on daily basis. Reset is a destructive and it should be used very carefully. Really, if you have a requirement, you don't want to get the, let's say, client requirement is completely changed, there's no point of maintaining the log for them, right? In that case, maybe you can do a reset. So reset is having a restricted or else a limited usage only, right? So if you
What is the best, best practices before committing the reset command running? We have to take the file backup if in future if they want the same requirement. So that time we cannot, write entire code, right? So in that time, can we copy and can we reset the command?
That's what I'm talking about. If reset has got limited usage, you don't reset on regular basis, you don't reset on like a frequently used or daily usage command. Reset is used very rarely. If you are very sure you don't want these changes anymore, you may reset. If you are taking a backup of the files, there's no point of doing reset, right? You are doing reset because you don't need them at all. If you want to have backup of them and all, do revert. But still, you would want to get rid of them, still want to have backup, it's up to you. It depends on the use case. But generally, we don't use reset. Reset is not regularly used command. Reset is used very rarely, occasionally, right? In case if you want to get rid of something, you may do reset. Always. So yeah, I told you the differences. Which one is preferred? Which one you should go for?
Revert only.
Revert, always use revert unless you are very sure you don't want them in any case at any point of time, you may use reset. That's why it's called destructive command, a powerful command. You cannot just go and use it on regular basis. Okay, that is about reset. There are also again different types of resets, like we did hard reset, right? Hard reset, you also have different types of resets, but we don't use them to that extent. But that's an advanced concept and generally there will be a lot of confusion over this concept. So let me just give you an overview of it. So in case if you need in future at any point of time, you can refer it. Okay, this is some additional concept. I'll just make the reset concept simple with this chart to avoid any confusions in case if you need them in future. How reset works, if you understand, you can understand the types differences very easily. We were talking about hard reset. There is also soft reset, mixed reset. Command is sent, just you use instead of hard, you use soft and all. Whenever you do hard reset, your changes are gone from everywhere. So that's why you cannot get their changes back. Changes gone are gone forever. They are completely wiped off. When you do soft reset, your changes are gone. Your changes are gone from here. You still have your changes in the staging area. You have them in the working directory as well. So yes, because your changes are in the staging area, if you want to get the changes back, what you should do? If you want to get the changes back to local records, what should you do?
We
Commit.
should commit again.
If you commit, you get your changes back. That is,
Yes.
and then you have something called mixed reset. Here changes are gone from staging area, local repository, or changes are there in a working directory. So if you want to get the changes back again, what you should do?
Add and commit. Git add.
That's all, right? So this is how different resets work. Generally, we don't use reset at all, so you don't need to go into this depth. But in case if you come across those commands, you should not be confused. Okay, and this chart helps you in case maybe some of the interviewers want to have a check, want to try how well you are with Git. Maybe a question, but this chart helps you simplifies the concept, right? So mixed reset or soft reset are fine to use, but still we don't use resets. Generally, we use a revert in case if you want to do, this is how you have a reset. Clear, everyone? Understood the concept of reset? So we
Yes.
have discussed about ignore, diff commands, delete commands. Till now, whatever we have discussed, let us summarize, let us consolidate the things. Initially we have talked about diff commands, right? And then delete commands, different types of delete, git rm, cached, okay. And then we have discussed about git diff, git rm. Then what next we have discussed about? Mm, Git ignore file, right? Revert and reset. These are the things we have discussed. These are all simple concepts, but you need to learn them with clarity without any confusion. Let me just summarize once. Diff command git diff file name will show you the unstaged changes of any file. If some changes are unstaged on any file, you can check with the git diff file name. Git diff staged file name will show you the staged changes, means whichever they are in the staging area. So that's one thing. Then comes git rm. Git rm command will git rm will delete the file both from working directory and local repository, right? So git rm cached will keep it in the working directory and will delete only from local repository. In case if you just want to delete something from local repository because by mistake you have placed in local repository, it might be a documentation, so you can just put it, you can use git rm cached, so it will be there in the working directory. So, and it is there in the working directory and you don't want Git to track them, you can use git ignore. Whatever files you place in git ignore will be will not be version controlled by Git. Git will not track them, Git will not version control them. They will be excluded from version controlling. Generally, when do you do that? Like if you want to version, I mean, exclude certain files from tracking, like some executable files, log files, or some documentation, or some files which have some sensitive data. All those can be ignored. We'll be using like every concept of adding, we'll be adding the files, committing the files in our Terraform project and so on, so that you will see the practical implementation. Practical implementation is nothing but here we are doing it on dummy files. There we'll see on using it on real files, but the concepts remain same. Okay, so that's about ignore. And coming to revert, if you want to undo any particular commit, yes, you have a revert. You can revert a particular commit ID. That commit ID changes happen in that commit ID will be undo. Later on again, if you want to get those changes, you can again revert the revert ID or commit ID to get the changes back. It's a safe method to undo the things. And then reset. Reset is like we just now discussed. It will undo a set of commits. A successive commit IDs can be undo, can be discarded rather than undo. Let's say discarded, because those are gone means you don't get them back, right? So yeah, these are the things we have discussed. So any questions in this part, or can we move for the next concept? Good to go. Right, so now that we have understood this, let's talk about another and the most important concept called branching. See, till now, whenever you do status, you are seeing some message like git status on branch master, right? What is this concept of branch? What is this master branch? See, till now, whatever changes you have done are set to be on the master branch. Master branch is called the default branch or the main branch where you have all your changes. Okay, this is your master branch. Till now, I have created so many files. By default, everything goes into master. You can imagine a branch as like a virtual folder in your repository. It's like a directory or a folder. Okay, this is the master branch or the main branch. Everything, whatever changes, your all the work happens here. Okay, fine. There's a client requirement one. We are working on this master branch. There's another client requirement, functional requirement two, where I need to modify the same file. So I'm just working on master. Okay, all the changes were kept in the same folder. Let's suppose functional requirement is to be released separately for this functional requirement two. Let's suppose this is for December release, whereas functional requirement one is for September release. So means I want to push functional requirement changes only to remote. How is that possible if I put everything on the same branch? Is it possible to push them separately? Also, after few days, I cannot identify which changes are for requirement 2 and which changes are for requirement 1. Isn't it? They just goes messed up. Am I correct? So how can we put those changes separately? Means instead of placing everything on master, I just want to maintain a separate folder. Imagine a folder. Let's say I'll create a copy of master branch. Okay, give some name, let's say B1 branch. Then I'll have file 1 here, file 2 here. Everything will be copied, including the files and commits. So rather than writing this functional requirement 2 on this branch, which is for separate release, I could put it into a separate branch F1. Functional requirement changes will be placed here so that yes, this is for a separate release, which is a December release. Right? So that's a master branch. In the B1 branch, you push the changes separately for B1. This is one use case of branching. Rather than placing all the changes in master, you create a separate branch called feature branch. You develop the code there and push to remote. That's one use case. Another use case could be generally master branch will be for production. We don't make changes directly to master. We put it as a dedicated branch for production. You make changes on some other branch like dev branch, test branch. Okay, you work there. Once you have done your work, once you are completed, if it is doing good, then you can bring those changes to master branch. That's called merging, integrating changes from one branch to another. Rather than messing up the production branch, you work on a separate branch and then push to production. That's a concept of branching. Not only that, let's suppose there were some bugs identified. Okay, you want to fix those bugs and push it quickly. You can create a separate branch from master, give the branch name as bug fixes, hot fixes, and push that separately. So the concept of branching allows multiple environments, multiple versions, multiple releases, or else you may allocate each branch to a separate developer, okay, so that they can maintain their versions. This is the purpose of branching. So branches could be maintained for temporary purpose or permanent. Like I said, yeah, you develop on dev branch, then merge it to master. Or else maybe there's a new feature. I don't want to mess up master. You develop on some branch. If it is working fine, merge it to master and delete the branch. So it could be either ways. If you want to maintain different releases, you may maintain a separate branch for them. Okay. So that's a concept of branching. So yeah, branching helps you to allow parallel development or multiple releases or parallel releases. See, only it is same till you make a copy. After making copy, whatever changes you make on B1 will not be visible on master and vice versa. Making sense? Understood, everyone? To make it more simple, let me give an example in terms of layman. See, I have some folder here. Okay, let's suppose this is the master branch in your repository. So I'm creating a copy from this. Okay, let's say this is the B1 branch. Okay, this is B1, this is master. If I make any changes on B1, will it be visible on master?
No.
Same is the case
No.
here. They were same only when you make a copy. Later on, they work like two parallel entities. Got it, all of you? Understood, everyone?
So how can we visualize in the command prompt which one is the master and which one is the other branch one or something like that? I can see the master one. How can we see the branch one, the command?
Yeah, we will be doing hands-on. That's what we will be doing now. Got the concept?
Yes, Preeti.
Let's the command line now. You may use this git bash or here also, it is fine. Till now you are seeing here master. Also you are seeing whenever you do status, you could see like it's on a branch master. Only one branch is there, default branch, main branch. You can also see the branch list with git branch command. Only one branch. Let's create a branch. How do you create a branch? Git branch, new branch name, or else child branch name and the parent branch. So now a branch called B1 will be created, which is a copy of master. Okay, B1 is created. I don't know whether it is created or not. Do git branch, yes. Now it lists B1. But you are seeing some asterisk star symbol on master. Why is that? Star symbol denotes on which branch you are on. B1 is there, but still you are on master branch. I'm on master branch. If you want to switch the branch, git checkout B1. Switch it to branch B1. Here you can see B1. Okay. In the prompt, you can see B1. Also, now if you list star is on B1, means you are on B1. These are all different ways to check on which branch you are on branch B1. You may check the status. You may list the branches this way. Okay, B1 you can see. All right, git branch. Okay, you can see like a B1 and master. So yeah, now if you do ls of B1, if you do git ls files of B1, if you are on B1, whatever commands you run are set to be on B1 branch only. Okay, so there are two files, and also you could check the log of B1. It will give you the log of B1 only because you are already on B1, or else you can also give the branch name here in the log command. Anything is fine. So we are on B1 with two commits, two files. Shall we create a file on B1? Everything is same like we did. Let's create a new file, file3.txt, a new file created on B1. Save it. The same old story. If you do status, only difference is on branch master, untracked file, add and commit. So I will add this and commit this. Git commit -m file3 added. Okay, on branch B1 you could see, and here you could see file3. Okay, yes, and git ls files, you'll see file 3. Also git status, not git status. Let me show the log. Git log 1 line, third commit. So there is a third commit, third file created on v1. Do you think they were available on master? Do we have this file 3 and third commit on master branch?
No.
Let us switch to master. How to switch the branch? How to go to master branch?
Git checkout master.
Git check out master.
Exactly. Git checkout master. So yes, you are on master. You can confirm it in the branch list. Star is on master. You could check the status also. These are all the different ways. Okay, you can check yes, you are on master branch. ls. Only 2 files. Git log of master. Only 2 commits. Right? So meaning they work like 2 parallel entities. You may use it for different releases or different environments, or you can assign them to each developer separately. Okay. So yeah, okay, fine. Let's say B1 is for temporary purpose. I just want to merge it to master. How do you do this merge? How do you merge it? Let's say B1 is for temporary purpose. I want to integrate the changes of B1 to master. How do you integrate changes from one branch to another? That is called as merging. Okay, what you can do here, git merge B1 master, right? So that's how you can do a merge. Git merge B1. B1 is actual syntax is git merge source branch, destination branch. Source branch means from which branch you want to bring your changes and to which branch you want to place them. So git merge B1 master. Do you see that? Updated, fast forward, automatically it merged. Now on master, if you see ls, third file. On master, if you see, you will also have the third commit which you got from.
I have a question, Preeti. So, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah. So, in real time, when we do sometimes when we do a merge from GitLab, so we see we have to give a reviewer to review our scripts and everything. So, how we do from the command line? How we actually assign a reviewer, and how do we see their review comments from the Git?
Those are called merge requests or pull requests on remote. See, you have to remember one thing. We didn't go to remote. We are still
Okay.
on local repository. Local repository means confined for myself. No one has to review. When I push to remote, there comes the point of reviewing on GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
As of now, we're still on our local. We didn't go to remote yet. So yeah, this is a simple kind of branching and merging. There could be a scenario you may also see a merge conflict. What is meant by this merge conflict and how this happens? Let me just give you, let me just tell you. Yeah, see here, let us do one thing. This is on which branch we are on? We are on master branch. Let's say I'll create some file here called file4.txt. Okay, and a file created on master branch. Okay, so after this, what you need to do? Git status. If you see the status of the files, yes, it says untracked file. So let me add it. Okay, also let me commit this. Git commit -m on master branch, something like that. Done. So obviously I have got 4 files, and when I check the log, I should be seeing the 4th commit, right? Okay, fine. Now, is this commit, is this file available on B1 branch? File 4, is it available on B1?
It's available.
File 4, fourth commit, are they available on B1?
Yeah, we measured both, right?
No, because we didn't
Not available.
Not available. We created them on master. We merged it beforehand. We merged from B1 to master. So this will not be present on B1. You can check that. Git checkout B1. Switch the branch. Okay, switch to the branch. And then you have here you can see git checkout B1. Switch to the branch B1. So now do ls. Yes, you don't have this fourth file. Also, you will not have this fourth commit. Perfect. It was working as expected. Parallelly development is happening. Sometime development happened on B1 and then we developed on master. So now let's take up a scenario like there is a requirement on B1, like requirement, we need to create a same file on B1. I'm not bothered whether it is present in other branches or not. So I have a requirement and I'm creating it. Let's say a new file created on B1. So what's the next step? What should we do now? We are well versed with the process now. So what is next command?
Git add and
Git add the file. So git add file 4 and git commit -m new file on B1. Okay. Here on branch B1, you could see the files. Yeah, file 4 is committed. Fine. Okay, I'm not bothered about whether the same file is present on other branches or not. Like we did earlier, this B1 is a temporary branch. I want to merge it to master. I made some changes. I just want to merge to master. Like, what are the steps? Some time back we did. So how to do the merge? What should we do first? What are the steps to merge?
Merge B1 master.
Yeah, first go to the destination branch, go to master branch. Now run the command git merge b1 master. What happens now? What do you think will happen now? Can it merge successfully? Can it merge automatically? What happens now?
it might give any conflict error or something because the same file names are there in the both branches.
Let us see. Run the command. See, conflict. Merge conflict in file 4. There is a conflict in file 4. Automatic merge failed. Earlier there is an automatic merge because there is no conflict. Now there is an automatic merge, like sorry, now there is a conflict and automatic merge failed. See, automatic merge failed. You have to fix the conflict because you are the one who created the files. Git is after all a tool. In the beginning we discussed, right? It will not override or it will not ignore the changes. Rather, it should inform us when same person is working on the same file or else same file is being worked on both the branches. It will not override, it will not allow overriding or it will not allow ignoring, but it will inform us. We have to fix the conflict, we have to resolve the conflict because we have developed those files. We have to do it. Git is after all a tool. It can inform us, but we need to resolve the conflict. How to resolve the conflict? What are the steps? See, this is the file you are seeing like this. What is all this? We will learn. First, let me ask you, what is the reason for conflict? How to resolve, how to fix the conflict, we will learn later. First, understand the reasons for conflict. Why we got this conflict? What is the reason?
File
Same
name is
file
same in branch.
Only file name. Is it the only file name? If file name is same, we'll get a conflict.
contents are different within the same file name.
Okay, so the reason behind this conflict is very logical, and generally people think that it's just simply because of file name. File name is correct to some extent, but not in all the cases. So then what is the actual logic? What is the reason? Okay, we need to analyze this. You need to understand and analyze the difference first, the reason for conflict. Then we could see, we could resolve it. Just give me 1 second, please. I'm sorry. So yeah, conflicts were automatic merge failed, and the conflicts, like, fix the conflicts and then commit the result. The reason is same file to some extent. Like, what are the other reasons? Yeah, we need to analyze that. Once you understand the reason for conflict, we'll also fix the conflict. Let me show you fix here quickly. See, whenever you have a conflict, open the file in an editor. Okay, you can see here contents from both the files. See here, this is, I mean, contents from both the branches. Head indicates contents from the current branch. This B1 indicates contents from the incoming changes, incoming branch. So you can edit the file like how you want it to be. You can just give backspace, delete, and edit the file like however you want it to be. Whether you want to keep both the lines or whether you want to keep only one line, you can decide, you can choose and keep only those changes you want. Okay, because this is an editor we are using, VS Code editor, this will also help you for better editing. Meaning here you can see current changes, accept incoming changes, means only put the incoming changes of B1. Accept current change means only put the current changes, or accept both. It's up to you. Or else manually you can edit. Let's say you are not using VS Code editor, you are using Notepad. You can manually edit. But this is the advantage of the editor. I want to keep both. Okay. When you make any changes, what do you do? After saving, what you do in Git? If you modify any file, if you make any changes, what should you do?
We should commit.
Add and commit. Conflicts, resolve. That's all. That's it. Now if you see the status, yes, it's all good. You can see both the lines. That's all. Means whichever file you got a conflict, you have to edit the file and fix the conflict. Simple. Because see, as a person who created them, you are the decision maker. You have to decide which changes to keep and then resolve it. That's all. But what is the actual reason behind this conflicts? So we have to analyze the reason behind the concept of conflict, so that at any point of time when you get a conflict, you know how to resolve, or else you know why this is happening. Okay, it's a file name also, it's because of the commits. Like from the beginning, I'm stressing on a point like Git works with respect to commits. Okay, so always it is with respect to commits, not with the files or not with anything else. It always work with respect to commits and changes. So something happening with the commit, some commits are missing on the source. What is meant by that? Commits are missing on the source. We'll analyze this differences. I mean, we will analyze the concept behind conflict in the next session. And yeah, we know how to resolve it. Let me ask you a question. Okay, we have resolved the conflict and you are seeing the contents of both here, right? What would be the contents of file 4 on B1 branch? Will it have both lines or only one line? What would be the contents of
Both lines.
B1, I mean file 4 on B1? Contents of file 4 on B1. Yes.
Only one line.
Will it has only B1 changes or both the changes? Both the lines. Hmm? Let's see.
Only B1 changes.
Git check out B1. Only B1 changes, obviously, because we didn't merge on B1, we merged on master. So B1 will have only its own changes. As we merged on master, master branch will have both the changes. That's how we have edited the file. I decided to keep both the lines. B1 will not be affected, only the destination branch will be affected. That's another point you need to make a note of. Whenever you are merging, destination branch is the one which will be affected, not the other source branch. Source branch will not have any impact. You are getting changes from source and you are merging into destination. So destination branch is the one that will be affected or impacted. Understood the scenarios, everyone? Conflict, merge with conflict and without conflicts.
Yes, Preeti.
So we have to analyze the other differences, like why we got a conflict. Okay, the reason for conflict. Is it just because the same file name or what else is the reason? We need to analyze it. And one more thing is you have to note that we were still working on our local repos. We didn't go to remote yet. On remote again we'll get a conflict. So what is the cases, what are the use case you get a conflict on remote? We will discuss that. But once you know the concept of conflict on remote also it would be similar, but the difference there would be you will be getting a conflict from some other person. Here I am getting conflict within my changes, my own branches. That is the difference. We'll also have a look at those things. So we shall take up from here in the next class. Any more questions from your end in the topics covered or in the yesterday's topics? Any questions from anyone? Have you all started doing hands-on? Have you all installed Git?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So continue doing the
Preeti,
hands-on.
yeah, Preeti, for Mac, we can directly do from the terminal, it seems. So I'm doing
Yeah.
from terminal. Yeah.
Yes. You have Mac installation link in the URL in the website, right? In the gitscm.com. You can download from there and follow the steps. You can also run from directly from the terminal.
Okay.
Okay, complete your hands-on. Any questions, post them in the group. We shall take up from here in the next class. So that is all from my end. Thanks
Thank you.
everyone for joining. See you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Preeti.
Bye everyone.